This is a review of the V2 Standing Desk by Uplift, and I'll say upfront that Uplift sent me this desk to help me make this review, so thank you to Uplift for doing that. And also in the description, I will link this product page, so if you want to go there and check it out as I do this video, you can feel free to do so. So when it comes to standing desks, right now, maybe you're working at home way more often than you used to, or maybe you just want a great desk that can go to the absolute perfect height, whether you're sitting down or standing up for whatever it is you use your desks for. That's when a standing desk is actually super amazing to have. I probably sit down way more than 95% of the time, but it's really important to me that the desk height is absolutely perfect so my arms can be out straight, I can sit straight in my chair. Everything's just aligned and ergonomic the way it should be, which just helps you prevent things like wrist pain or back pain, which can happen when you sit with really bad posture, which sometimes can happen from having your desk at the wrong height. It can be that simple. And when you spend a lot of time at work or at home sitting at your desk, it's usually worth the money to buy something good so that it can last a long time and also to help you avoid things like lower back pain. And actually the price for this desk is very competitive. The base option is $589. You will find standing desks that are cheaper than that, but I actually wouldn't recommend going much cheaper than this because you usually get what you pay for. And cheaper standing desks can sometimes have problems with the motors not being so great, so you have a jerky movement up and down, or the stability of the desk itself might not be so great, so it becomes a bit wobbly, especially with larger tabletops. You can certainly buy desks that are far, far more expensive if you want to, but it's really about trying to find the sweet spot. So in this video, I'll try to let you know if I think that this desk is that sweet spot. So when it comes to selecting your desk from Uplift, I will note that I got the 60 by 30, which is quite a bit larger than the stock 42 by 30. So I would strongly recommend you just get a tape measure, measure the room or the space that you want to use your desk, and make sure you are selecting the right size for you. The 60 by 30 is a $110 increase, so it does cost quite a bit more for the bigger top, but one of the reasons I wanted a new standing desk was to get a much larger top to fit all the stuff on my desktop, which is just way too much. But these tops can go all the way up to 80 by 30, which is a pretty huge desk. So feel free to get whatever you think makes the most sense for you. And also they offer a ton of different top options. The stock or standard option is carbonized bamboo. If you want a natural top that's made from a real natural material, bamboo tends to be very stable, which means it shouldn't warp if you have changes in humidity. So that should be a good option. They also have laminate options, which is actually what I went with. I went with a walnut green guard laminate because I wanted the walnut style top without paying the money to buy an actual walnut top, which they do offer real wood versions. So if you want to go all out and have a real wood top that would no doubt look super amazing, this particular walnut solid wood top would be $738 extra on the 60 by 30. So this does add quite a bit of cost. So up to you if you want the real wood top as opposed to a laminate or the bamboo, if you're willing to pay that extra money. No doubt that will be a really amazing desktop that would look great for years to come. Also, this option for pheasant wood looks super beautiful. And I should note too that some of these options do also have a curve in them. So if you want a slightly more ergonomic option that has a curved front as opposed to the straight front, they do have those. So definitely check out all your options and make sure you're getting what you think will be best for you. And once you've selected your desktop style and size, there's different frames, including different frame colors. There's black, there's white, which is what I went with. There's gray, and there's also this really cool option for industrial style, which looks almost like metal from an old piece of machinery. So for example, if you went with the real wood walnut top and then you have that industrial looking frame, I think that's a really great combination. Especially if you work in a building that has brick walls and natural concrete floors, or live in an apartment or a house that has a similar style. If that was the case for me, this is no doubt the option that I would go with because I think that's an awesome aesthetic. But feel free to follow your heart on whatever you think will look best for this. There are a ton of different options. And also there's different options as far as what kind of frame style you want. So the V2 C frame is what will show up by stock. And it's called a C frame because the legs are about 2/3 of the way back. So it gives it more of a C shape. They do also offer a T frame, which has the support going right down the middle. I would assume the T-frame would be a little bit more stable if you want to do things like put heavy objects on the front of your desk or sit on the front of your desk. But on the C-frame that I purchased, I didn't notice any particular issues with the overall stability as I push down on the front of my desk. It feels rock solid, so no problems there. And then for $60 extra, you can get the commercial frame. So the commercial frame has thicker legs. It also has a support beam, so it's even more stable than the standard frame. And my standard frame has actually been extremely stable. If I push it side to side or front to back, I don't have any weird wobbles or wiggles. But if you want to go all out, then this option will be even more stable. And a slight difference too that's worth calling out, I don't think it'll affect much for most people, but the commercial frame can actually go a couple inches lower than the standard frame. So if you want your desk to go as low as possible, the commercial frame can go lower. The flip side is the standard frame can actually go a little bit higher. So if you're a very tall person, you might actually want to get the standard frame for the couple of inches extra that it can go up. And also this crossbeam bar at the bottom. The reason I did not get a commercial frame is I like to slide my computer essentially right between the legs of the table. So I would not have been able to do that with the commercial frame. So figure out how you want to use this desk and then buy the appropriate frame for you. And then also a really cool feature with this desk is the keypad. It will come with a basic keypad that just goes up and down, but I actually went with one of the advanced digital memory keypads, and I got mine in white just to match my desk frame and overall look. But the cool thing here is there's a memory button. So it's an M that when you push and then you push a number, it'll save the exact height that you set your desk to. So in my case, I set a memory for the sitting height for my desk for me, and also for the standing height for the desk for me. So at a single push of a button, it'll raise or lower to the perfect height, whether I'm sitting or standing, which is just a nice little convenience. And at $29 extra for the advanced digital memory keypad or $35 for the comfort one, not a huge cost difference, but I do think that is a worthwhile thing to spend if you intend to keep this desk for quite a few years. I don't see why you wouldn't do that. The main difference between these keypads is the standard advanced one is flush with the front of the desk, so it won't stick out at all. The comfort one does stick out at an angle, and I also think it has softer buttons, but the big difference there for me is, do you want this to be flush or do you want it to stick out a bit, which will make it a little bit easier to see the numbers when you are sitting down next to your desk. And also included free with the desk, there's a wire management tray. So if you want to install that tray and then put a power strip in there, for example, if you don't have a ton of different cords, that should be a great option for you. My desk is out of control with way too many cords, so I had to go a bit more crazy with what I was up to. And then this also includes little zip ties that you can just stick in the frame and then tie the cables to your desk. So this option is a great option if you want to keep things nice and tidy, and it's included for free, so just spend the time to do that basic cable management when you get the desk. But also with these desks, there's a ton, like a crazy amount of accessories that you can get, and a bunch of them are actually free. So make sure you go to add accessories and then check these out. There's things like bamboo motion boards that you can sit on and work your core as you stand, and even things like hammocks if you get a larger desk. So this does not work with the commercial frame, which is why it's warning me that I can't do that. But if you get the standard frame in, I believe, a 70-inch long desktop or longer, then you can get the hammock and sleep under your desk, should that be what you want to do. I did not get the hammock as my desktop is too small. If you like hammocks and you want to have one under your desk, what a perfect option. It's there for you. There's other things like organizers or even this free 29-inch modesty panel with wire management. I did not get this, and I kind of wish that I did get it because it has a little pouch where you can just jam all of your various wires into, so they'll be out of sight, out of mind. I actually went with a different desk manufacturer's product called a cord taco or a cable taco. I don't remember which one, but that allowed me to just jam all of my cords in that and then kind of seal it up. My cable management is a super mess still, but at some point I will go in there and clean them up. At least for me, I find myself being way less stressed for whatever reason when I don't have a wire nest behind my desk that I just stare at all day. So I do recommend taking the time, at least hiding the wires to the best of your ability, and that free modesty panel should help you do that. I won't go through all the different options here for different things you can get. There's almost too many additional options. You could spend a ton of time just checking out everything that is included here. So feel free to do that. Check out all the additional options and make sure you're getting everything you need before you get going with actually building this up. And when it comes to actually building this desk, I don't have a video of me doing that, but I was able to do it on my own in about an hour and a half. It does recommend having 2 people to build the desk and especially move it around and flip it back over. But if you don't have a second person handy to help you out, I was able to do it on my own pretty easily. Although I will say I got the 60 by 30 desktop. If it was much larger, it would have been very difficult for me to flip the desk over back onto its feet, since you essentially build this desk upside down. So do keep that in mind if you are trying to build this by yourself, but you want a very large desktop, it might be worth having a friend come over and help you out. Past that, the actual instruction was actually very easy. I've had to rebuild almost every piece of IKEA furniture that I've ever purchased due to making some mistake or another. And I didn't have to do that when it came to the Uplift Standing Desk. So that was fantastic. Good job, Uplift, on the instructions. I think the worst that I had to do was move the power pack from one side to the other. And I also moved the keypad from one side to the other as I put it on the wrong side. But no big deal there at all. And it's also important to note that the actual up and down movement of this desk is super smooth. And especially on a desktop like mine with way too much stuff on it, I have 2 monitors, I have 2 speakers, I have a bunch of just miscellaneous stuff all over my desktop that can weigh quite a bit. So sometimes, and especially on my older standing desk that this one replaced, when I moved it up and down with all that weight on it, it would kind of make a shuddery, jerky movement because the motors weren't so happy with all the stuff that I put on the desk. This one, that is not the case. The up and down movement remains very solid and very smooth, which I was very, very happy to see happen. But now for my final thoughts on the overall quality of the desk. So I'm going to compare this to a previous desk that I had purchased, which was the Stand Desk Standing Desk. I paid $500 for the Stand Desk, and the most comparable version through Uplift would be $589. So the Uplift is ever so slightly more expensive, but let's talk about some of the differences. Both of those desks were actually very, very stable. I didn't have any problems with feeling like it was a cheap desk, whether it was the Standing Desk I had or my new Uplift Standing Desk. The real big difference to me is the overall quality of movement, which I feel like is substantially higher in the Uplift Standing Desk. This could be just how my old desk was compared to this desk, but this one, it moves up and down super smooth. There's no sluggishness or jerkiness. And do I think those benefits are worth a slightly higher price tag? Yeah, I definitely do. I think especially when it comes to something like really smooth motor movement, that's super important for a desk. It's going to make it feel much nicer for you to use every time you raise or lower it. So that is a huge perk. And also the amount of customization when it comes to this desk is absolutely insane. Whether it's desktops, size, the color of the frame, all those things, you can get a desk that is absolutely perfect for your needs on this particular website. And I'd expect a desk like this to last 10 years or more. I can't imagine what would possibly go wrong on a standing desk with a couple motors. It should be extremely reliable. So overall, this desk is a big thumbs up for me. I'm super happy with the one that I have, and I'm also super happy that I have a larger desktop now for all my stuff to sit on. So if you are considering a standing desk, strong recommendation on the V2 Standing Desk by Uplift. And once again, check out the description of this video so you can go to their website and build the perfect desk for you. But that is it for this video. If you thought this video was helpful, feel free to hit the thumbs up button to let me know. And also, if you want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe. I'll do my best to keep creating new videos just like this. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch. Until the next one.